I was just sitting up in my tree, in my tree, in my tree. I saw a beautiful face was looking up at me, up at me, up at me. Oh, she had a cute smile, so I asked her name, asked her name, asked her name. Oh, I got to talking till she felt the sin, and she felt the sin, felt the sin. And every time I see her, I do my thing. Oh, now she's lonely, son, it's where she wants to be, where she wants to be, it's where she wants to be. She's cooking us a chicken with a jug of tea.
A jug of tea.
Oh,
A
yeah.
jug of tea.
I'm thankful for the day she knocked on my door. I'm thankful for the day she knocked on my door. And I never thought I'd fall for the girl next door. And I never thought I'd fall for the girl next door. And every time I see her, I do my thing. Every time I see her, I do my thing. And every time I see her, I do my thing.
Armadillo, ring-a-ting-tang. Armadillo, ring-a-ting-tang.
Whee!
Vroom, vroom.
Greetings, winged scouts!
Hey, it's Commander Airhead.
Hello there, Commander Airhead.
Gumdrop, Vroomer, it's that time again! Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to discover all about the most fascinating machine of all.
Planes!
Planes.
Exactly! You will travel all over the world, across time, space, and beyond. You must keep your little metal noses pointed ahead, your motors humming, and your wings perked at all times. We depend on you to do the best job possible. Are you ready for your assignment?
As ready as a long-winged plane on a windy day, Commander.
My engine's revving on overdrive.
We're ready for our mission, Commander Airhead.
This is sure to be a challenging mission, little ones.
Cloudless skies. Oh, I love challenging missions.
Endless horizons. Me too.
I'm sending you two on a mission to learn about the world's fastest jets.
The world's fastest jets? How cool!
Yeah.
It's up to you to learn all about it and report back to me with what you've discovered.
Let's do it.
This is going to be an incredible adventure.
What can you tell us about the world's fastest jets, Commander Airhead?
Well, just imagine, winged scouts, pushing your throttles back and feeling the rush of your engines, pushing you to speeds faster than anything alive has ever achieved. Amazing! Incredible! Life-changing!
Wow. I can't wait to find out more.
The world's fastest jet sounds absolutely amazing.
As you know, Vroomer and Gumdrop, to help educate the little planes of the future, you must find out and learn tons of amazing facts about airplanes.
Yes, Commander Airhead.
Vroom, vroom. We will.
Excellent! You must also know there is a question that all the brightest flying minds all over the world's skies have not been able to answer about the world's fastest jets. We need you two winged scouts to help us answer the who flew question about the world's fastest jets.
Who flew question? Love it. What is the question, Commander Airhead?
Which jet holds the record for the longest hypersonic flight in history? And when was it set?
That's a great question, Commander Airhead.
We'll land the answer in a flip of a wing, I'm sure.
I will assign you the best winged scout helper in the world. His name is Willie Widget. He's a robotic encyclopedia of aircraft knowledge. He will assist you on your mission.
Our most valuable player.
Come on down, Willie Widget.
Be sure to ask a lot of questions, winged scouts. You know, Mr. Widget can handle it.
Yay! Winged Scouts, ready to fly, Commander Airhead.
Winged Scouts!
Ring, ring!
Hooray!
Winged Scouts! Ha-ha! Ready to get started on your next adventure?
Yes, super ready.
Totally ready.
Remember, Winged Scouts, any and all questions you have, I'm here to answer them.
Where do we begin?
On December 17th, 1903, Orville Wright finally achieved something that mankind had dreamed of for the entirety of human history. He made the first sustained and controlled heavier-than-air-powered flight. And even though that pioneering flight was only 120 feet long, Orville and brother Wilbur inspired 1,000 others to build bigger, better, and above all, faster flying machines in the century that followed their historic achievement.
Whoa!
There are very many jets that have exceeded the speed of Mach 2.0. Some of them are research aircraft, some are military, and some are simply flying for reconnaissance purposes. But there is always something special with supersonic aircraft. To see some of the fastest jets ever built, we need to take a tour around the world. Wings away, guys!
Yeah!
In the United States, 47 years after it first flew, the F-15 was developed by McDonnell Douglas, now Boeing, and it was one of the first to gain air supremacy in aerial combat. The twin-engine tactical fighter first entered service in the U.S. Air Force in 1976 and has become one of their longest-lasting fighters since that time. Production of the model is expected to continue until the year 2019.
So what's the top speed of the F-15?
The McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle has a top speed of 1,650 miles per hour.
Incredible! Hit my plane brain with more awesome plane facts, Willy Widget.
In Russia, the Mikoyan Gurevich MiG-25 Foxbat was a supersonic reconnaissance and interceptor aircraft that combined phenomenal speed with advanced radar detection systems. It did have one fundamental weakness, which was its large wings that were needed to lift the exceptionally heavy aircraft into the air. It has a top speed of 2,190 miles per hour and was eventually replaced by the Mikoyan MiG-31.
Blastin' engines, that's amazing!
The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird is another United States jet that was introduced in 1966. Only 32 Blackbirds were built, and all were used for reconnaissance and experimental research. It featured stealth technology, but if it was, against all odds, spotted by enemy forces, it could outrun the interceptors or surface-to-air missiles that were fired at it due to its fantastic speed in excess of 2,300 miles per hour. In air testing, it actually achieved a speed of 2,600 miles per hour.
Zoinks! Very fast indeed.
What happened next, Willie?
Excellent question, Gumdrop. The SR-71 was flown extensively over hostile ground during the Vietnam War. Despite an estimated 800 missiles being fired at the Blackbird, not one single plane was ever shot down. Although mechanical failures plagued its reliability, and about 12 of them were lost due to this problem.
Whoa! So are all the fastest jets always manned by humans?
That's a very good question, Vroomer. No, they are not. In fact, the fastest among them are the unmanned jets because they pose no danger to the pilots.
The Boeing X-51 Wave Rider is one of these jets that are capable of hypersonic speeds in excess of Mach 5. The NASA X-43 is also an unmanned aircraft.
Woohoo!
So what is the fastest manned aircraft, Willie?
The North American X-15, developed in the late 1950s through a joint effort between North American Aviation, who created the airframe, and Reaction Motors, who developed the engines, is the fastest manned jet. It's rocket-powered and capable of hypersonic speeds in excess of 4,500 miles per hour, or Mach 6. It broke the record for the fastest speed ever achieved by a manned jet.
Very nice.
So which is the fastest unmanned aircraft, Willie?
Excellent question, Vroomer. That will be the NASA X-43, which is an experimental unmanned hypersonic aircraft developed by NASA as part of its Hyper-X program. It is the fastest aircraft on record with a top speed of an incredible Mach 9.6, or 7,310 miles per hour.
What is hypersonic speed, Willie?
Very good question, Vroomer. I see you are paying attention. A hypersonic speed is one that is highly supersonic. The term has generally been assumed to refer to speeds of Mach 5 and above. An example of a hypersonic jet is the X-15, which is rocket-powered.
How do jets handle hypersonic speed?
New materials and very powerful engines capable of handling high temperatures and pressure were developed to handle this rate of speed.
Whoa. What engines power the fast SR-71 Blackbird jet?
The SR-71 Blackbird is powered by twin Pratt & Whitney J58 jets, which are capable of producing up to 34,000 pounds of thrust each.
Whoa! Tooting turbines! That's incredible!
Do you know that the SR-71 Blackbird is still recognized as the fastest fighter jet and in over 25 years of service has never once been hit by a missile? It was built to fly up to Mach 3.4 speeds. That's approximately 2,500 miles per hour on land.
Yippee!
Yay!
Over the years, aviation improvements have come a long way, and these fast jets are proof of that. All of these machines have very different aims. Some are bombers, others are fighters, some are interceptors, and one or two are designed for stealth recon. They all have one thing in common, though: the ability to fly very, very, very fast.
Blue skies!
Technological advances have ensured the continual improvement of modern jets as mankind looks to break existing records and set new ones on the path to discovery.
Which jet holds the record for the longest hypersonic flight in history? And when was it set?
The Boeing X-51 Wave Rider in May 2013 set the record for the longest hypersonic flight in history. It flew at speeds in excess of Mach 5 for 210 seconds.
Hey, Gumdrop, I think we just found the answer to Commander Airhead's Who Flew question.
You're right, Vroomer. The Boeing X-51 Wave Rider holds the record for the longest hypersonic flight in history.
Ah, congratulations on finding the answer to this mission's Who Flew question, Winged Scouts. Commander Airhead will be proud of you. No pistons about it.
Fantastic work, Winged Scouts! Your mission was a great success! I'm starting to really admire you two.
Awesome!
Say, were you able to find the answer to this mission's Who Flew question?
Yeah, Yes, Commander Airhead, we sure did.
The Boeing X-51 Wave Rider sets the record for the longest hypersonic flight in history.
The Boeing X-51 Wave Rider in May 2013 flew at speeds in excess of Mach 5 for 210 seconds, setting the record for longest hypersonic flight in history.
That's great! Good job, Winged Scouts!
What's our next mission, Commander Airhead?
Your next mission is going to be your most amazing yet. We want you to learn about space shuttles.
Space shuttles? Wow! Cool!
For all the bumpy flights, can't wait to get started.
Yay! Winged Scouts, ready to fly, Commander Airhead.
Winged Scouts!
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Hooray!
I've always been interested in space shuttles, and I've flown up, but I just can't get into outer space.
That's probably a good thing, Vroomer. I don't think we're equipped for outer space.
Gumdrop, Vroomer, gas up those engines and get those propellers spinning. It's that time again! Your mission is to discover all about the most fascinating machine of all.
Planes!
Planes!
Exactly! You will travel all over the world, across time and space and beyond. You must keep your little metal noses pointed ahead, your motors humming, and your wings perked at all times. We depend on you to do the best job possible. Are you ready for your assignment?
Whoop whoop, we're mega ready!
My chassis is quaking with anticipation, Commander.
Plane Scouts, ready for our mission, Commander Airhead.
This is sure to be a challenging mission, little ones.
Looking forward to it. I love challenging missions.
You're not the only one, Gumdrop.
I'm sending you two on a mission to learn about space shuttles.
Space shuttles? Yes!
Can't wait.
It's up to you to learn all about it and report back to me with what you've discovered.
Flapping fun wings!
We're gonna have an awesome time.
What can you tell us about the space shuttles, Commander Airhead?
Mankind finally figured out how to launch space shuttles only a few decades ago. Though up until the present, only 5 space shuttles have been launched.
Wow! I can't wait to find out more.
Space shuttles! Sounds absolutely amazing!
As you know, Vroomer and Gumdrop, as part of your mission description, you must find out and learn tons of amazing facts about flying machines.
Yes, Commander Airhead.
Vroom, vroom. We will.
Excellent! You must also know that there is a question that all the brightest flying minds all over the world's skies have not been able to answer about space shuttles. We need you two Winged Scouts to help us answer the who flew question about space shuttles.
Who flew question? Love it! What is the question, Commander Airhead?
Which U.S. president commissioned the development of the first space shuttle to travel into space? And in what year?
That's a great question, Commander Airhead.
I will assign you the best Winged Scout helper in the world. His name is Willie Widget. He is a robotic encyclopedia of aircraft knowledge. He will assist you on your mission.
We can't fail with Willie.
Yay! We can never get too much Willy Widget.
Be sure to ask a lot of questions, Winged Scouts. And may the wind stay under your wings.
Yay! Winged Scouts ready to fly, Commander Airhead.
Winged Scouts!
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Hooray!
Winged Scouts! Ready to get started on your next adventure?
Yes, super ready.
Oh, totally ready.
Remember, Winged Scouts, any and all questions you have, I'm here to answer them.
Where do we begin?
In the U.S., here, the Space Shuttle was a spacecraft which was used by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. Space shuttles were used to carry astronauts and cargo into space. In the 1970s, the prototype craft, Enterprise, was launched, but it was only used for tests and never flew into space. The first space shuttle, the Columbia, was launched in April of 1981, and since then, a total of 5 shuttles were built and launched.
Whoa!
The shuttle launches like a rocket, orbits like a spacecraft, and lands like a plane. The space shuttle is one of the most complex and innovative machines ever built. It was a huge leap in technology when the first shuttle was launched, as it represented the first ever spacecraft that was reusable.
Really? That's very smart.
The first space shuttle, Enterprise, Orbital Vehicle 101, or OV-101, was not built for space missions. It was used for unpowered test flights at NASA's Dryden Test Flight Center at the Edwards Air Force Base in California. The shuttle was lifted atop a modified Boeing 747 shuttle carrier aircraft and made 5 test flights totaling 19 minutes of free flight. The first flight was made in August 1977, and the last in October of that same year.
Where is the Space Shuttle Enterprise now?
The Enterprise is on display at the Smithsonian Institution's Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center near Washington, D.C., USA. When Discovery replaces it at the museum, Enterprise will be moved to the Intrepid Sea Air Space Museum in New York.
Really? I'll make sure to visit and check it out.
The Columbia was the first shuttle to fly to space, and as the oldest member of the fleet, it was slightly heavier than its successors, which benefited from advances in technology. The first 4 flights of Columbia put the spacecraft through its paces. It was equipped with ejection seats, activated for the first test flights and removed after the 9th flight.
Blasting engines, that's amazing!
The Columbia was destroyed during re-entry in February 2003 when it was coming back home from its 28th flight. Sadly, all 7 astronauts aboard died from the crash.
How sad.
What happened next, Willie?
Excellent question, Gumdrop. The Challenger was built as Structural Test Article STA-099. After studying the work needed to make Enterprise spaceworthy, NASA calculated that it was less expensive to rebuild STA-099 as OV-099. The Challenger made its first flight on the STS-6 mission in April 1983 and became the workhorse of NASA's fleet during the early years of shuttle operations. Challenger flew on 85% of all missions up to 1985. The Challenger was destroyed during the launch of its 10th mission in January 1986, again killing 7 crew members.
Oh no. Sad factoid. After the destruction of the Challenger, what happened?
That's a very good question, Vroomer. The hardest working shuttle of all, the Discovery, made 39 successful missions across 27 years of service. Since its first launch in August 1984, it was used to deliver the Hubble Space Telescope into orbit. It was the shuttle tasked with the 2 return-to-flight missions after the Challenger and Columbia accidents.
Amazing!
What about the 4th space shuttle to be built?
The Atlantis was the 4th vehicle built. Since October 1985, it has flown 32 missions. In 1989, it deployed the unmanned spacecrafts Magellan to Venus and Galileo to Jupiter. It lofted the Compton Gamma Ray Observatory to orbit in 1991 as well. Atlantis was the first shuttle to dock with a space station when it linked up with Russia's Mir space station in 1995. It also delivered Europe's Columbus Laboratory to the International Space Station in 2008.
Whoa, that's an amazing machine.
Which space shuttle was the quickest, Willie?
Excellent question, Vroomer. According to statistics, the Atlantis was the fastest built space shuttle, as it took only about half the time it took to complete the first operational craft, Columbia. The Atlantis has also had the fewest technical problems.
And where's the Atlantis space shuttle now?
Very good question, Vroomer. After it was decommissioned, the Atlantis Space Shuttle was handed over to the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex for display.
Cool. Hey, what spacecraft is the youngest member of the Space Shuttle program?
The Endeavour is the youngest fleet member, making its maiden voyage in May of 1992. It was built as a replacement for Challenger, using the spare structural parts of Discovery and Atlantis. It was the first shuttle at the International Space Station in 1998, delivering Node 1, the station's first U.S. element.
Whoa, how many space missions did the Endeavour fly?
The Endeavour completed 25 space missions before it was decommissioned.
Whoa, tooting turbines. That's incredible.
The Endeavour was the last space shuttle launched into space in September 2010. It was also the 134th space shuttle flight.
Woo-hoo!
Yay!
It takes only 8 minutes for the space shuttle to accelerate to a speed of more than 17,000 miles per hour. The liftoff weight of the space shuttle is 4.5 million pounds. The main engine on the space shuttle weighs as much as a train locomotive, but puts out as much horsepower as 39 locomotives.
That's massive!
The space shuttle system has 4 major components: 2 solid rocket boosters, the external tank, 3 main engines, and the orbiter add-ons. The external fuel tank is the only part that cannot be reused, as it burns up in the atmosphere after launch.
I have a question. Which president commissioned the development of the first space shuttle to travel into space? And in what year?
President Richard Nixon announced the intent to develop the first space shuttle for travel into space on January 5th, 1972.
Hey, Gumdrop, I think we just found the answer to Commander Airhead's Who Flew question.
You're right, Vroomer. President Richard Nixon holds the record for the president to commission the first space shuttle travel into space.
Congratulations on finding the answer to this mission's Who Flew question, Winged Scouts. Commander Airhead will be proud of you. No thunderclouds about it.
Fantastic work, Winged Scouts! Your mission was a great success! You're well on your way to being our most valuable fleet members ever!
Awesome!
Say, were you able to find the answer to this mission's Who Flew question?
Yes, Commander Airhead, we sure did.
President Richard Nixon holds the record for the president to commission the first space shuttle travel into space.
President Richard Nixon announced the intent to develop the first space shuttle for travel into space on January 5th, 1972.
That's great! Good job, Winged Scouts!
Oh, what's our next mission, Commander Airhead?
Your next mission is going to be your most incredible yet! We want you to learn about seaplanes!
Seaplanes? Wow, cool!
For all the bumpy flights, can't wait to get started.
Yay! Winged Scouts, ready to fly, Commander Airhead!
Winged Scouts,
Vroom, vroom.
Hooray!
I thought about becoming a seaplane a couple of times.
Can we do that?
Well, as the aviation world shows us, Winged Scouts, with a little know-how and ingenuity, anything is possible. This is sure to be a challenging mission, little ones.
Stormy skies challenging?
Full throttles ahead.
I'm sending you two on a mission to learn about seaplanes.
Seaplanes? How cool!
Yes, I love seaplanes.
It's up to you to learn all about it and report back to me with what you've discovered.
Take-off-tastic!
This is going to be an incredible adventure.
What can you tell us about the seaplanes, Commander Airhead?
Seaplanes are pretty amazing machines. They are motor-powered fixed-wing aircraft that can take off and land on water.
Wow! I can't wait to find out more.
Seaplanes sound super sweet.
As you know, Vroomer and Gumdrop, to win the annual Planes with Brains contest, you must find out and learn tons of amazing facts about airplanes.
Yes, Commander Airhead.
We will.
Excellent! You must also know there is a question that all of the brightest flying minds all over the world's skies have not been able to answer about seaplanes. We need you two Winged Scouts to help us answer the who flew question about seaplanes.
Who flew question? Oh, love it. What is the question, Commander Airhead?
What seaplane completed the first round-the-world flight? And who was the pilot?
That's a great question, Commander Airhead.
We'll land the answer in a spin of a propeller, I'm sure.
I will assign you the best Winged Scout helper in the world. His name is Willie Widget. He's a robotic encyclopedia of aircraft knowledge. He will assist you on your mission.
Oh, yeah. We can't go wrong with the Widge.
Willie's the bomb.
Be sure to ask a lot of questions, Winged Scouts. You can never possess too much knowledge.
Yay! Winged Scouts ready to fly, Commander Airhead.
Winged Scouts!
Vroom, vroom.
Hooray!
Winged Scouts, ready to get started on your next adventure?
Yes, super ready.
Totally ready.
Remember, Winged Scouts, any and all questions you have, I'm here to answer them.
Where do we begin?
Let's start in the land of the Eiffel Tower and croissants. Let's start in France. The Frenchman Alphonse Pénaud filed the first patent for a flying machine with a boat hull and retractable landing gear in 1876. Follow me, guys. Let's take a quick flyover into Austria next. Here, Austrian Wilhelm Kress is credited with building the first seaplane, Drachenflieger, in 1898. Although its two engines were inadequate for takeoff, and it later sank when one of its two floats collapsed.
Whoa!
In the early years, many pioneers made various attempts to attach floats to aircraft in Britain, Australia, France, and the United States, but most of them met with little or no success.
Bummer. Super sea drag.
In 1905, Gabriel Voisin took off and landed on the River Seine with a towed kite glider on floats. The first of his unpowered flights went 150 yards. He later built a powered float plane in partnership with Louis Blériot, but the machine was unsuccessful.
What's a float plane, Willie?
A float plane has slender pontoons or floats mounted under the fuselage. 2 floats are common, and only the floats of a float plane normally come into contact with the water. The fuselage remains above water. Some small land aircraft can be modified to become float planes, and in general, float planes are small aircraft. They're limited by their inability to handle high waves.
Incredible! Hit my plane brain with more cool H2O factoids, Willie.
In March 1910, Frenchman Henri Fabre flew the first successful powered seaplane, the Gnome Omega-powered Hydravion, a trimaran float plane. Fabre's first successful takeoff and landing by a powered seaplane inspired other aviators, and he designed floats for several other flyers.
Lasting engines? That's amazing!
The first hydro airplane competition was held in Monaco in 1912, featuring aircraft using floats from Fabre, Curtiss, Tellier, and Farman. This led to the first scheduled seaplane passenger services, using a 5-seat Sanchez Besa. The French Navy ordered its first float plane in 1912.
Very interesting.
What happened next?
Excellent question, Gumdrop. In Switzerland, Emile Tadiole equipped the Dufaux 4 biplane with swimmers and successfully took off in 1912. A seaplane was used during the Balkan Wars in 1913, when a Greek Astra Hydravion did a reconnaissance of the Turkish fleet and dropped 4 bombs. The breakout of World War I saw advancement in flying boat designs with better practical hulls. The Model H-4, the Curtiss H-12, and the Felixstowe F-1 to F-5, the Curtiss F-5L, and Machi M5, and the German Hansa Brandenburg GW are some of the earliest successful seaplanes.
Whoa! Fun factoid, but, how did we get from those small seaplanes to the sleek modern seaplanes?
That's a very good question, Vroomer. World War II also saw the need for improved seaplanes, but the end of the war saw a rapid decline in their use. They lost the water advantage due to the increased availability of land airports. The Canadian Viking Twin Otter 400S is one of the world's best seaplanes. It is designed for the commercial sector for short to medium length flights. The Viking 400S has a 20-passenger carrying capacity and is a big development in the seaplane community.
Woohoo!
What advantage do aircrafts have over seaplanes, Willie?
Because the flotation structures offered greater resistance to the air than wheel-type landing gear, seaplanes were, until recently, less efficient and slower for any given horsepower requirement than land-based aircraft. However, developments in small and retractable flotation structures have eliminated that inefficiency and have made supersonic jet-powered seaplanes possible.
Whoa, really? Impressive.
What are the other modern seaplanes, Willie?
Excellent question, Vroomer. The C-Max M22, which can be powered using premium auto fuel, is a modern seaplane with awesome features. The Cessna 206 on Whipline 3450 floats is another awesome sleek seaplane.
What seaplanes are great for family trips, Willie?
Very good question, Vroomer. The Seawind 300C's cabin can fit 2 adults and 3 children and has a panoramic view, which is an awesome feature for those wishing to take in the sights. It is also fast, with a cruising speed of 190 miles per hour, making it a great choice for family trips.
What other countries build modern seaplanes?
The Chinese Jiaolong AG600, also called the world's largest flying boat, is currently the largest seaplane in the world. The French startup Lisa Airplanes also have the Akoya, which is more than just a seaplane as it can operate on land, water, and snow.
Whoa, which is currently the best seaplane?
The Icon A5 amphibious light sport aircraft debuted in 2014 and is a next-generation seaplane. It's really light, with foldable wings for easy towing behind your car, like a boat. And it can run on aviation fuel or regular gasoline available at any gas station.
Whoa, turbo toots! That's incredible!
The largest seaplane ever built is the Hughes H-4 Hercules, and it was mainly constructed with plywood. The Hughes H-4 Hercules had a wingspan of 332 feet and a cruise speed of 250 miles per hour. It's actually disputed whether it flew once or never.
What?
I guess they can't get the facts right.
The Saunders Roe SR.A1 is the first jet seaplane ever built. It had a maximum speed of 445 miles per hour. Only 3 were built, and 2 of those were lost to testing accidents.
Stormy skies.
The fastest jet seaplane ever built is the Convair F-2Y Sea Dart with a top speed of 825 miles per hour. It's also the world's only supersonic seaplane.
I have a question. What seaplane completed the first round-the-world flight? And who was the pilot?
In December 1990, pilot Tom Casey completed the first round-the-world flight in a seaplane with only water landings using a Cessna 206 named Liberty II.
Hey, Gumdrop, I think we just found the answer to Commander Airhead's Who Flew question.
You're right, Vroomer. The Cessna 206, named Liberty II, holds the record for first round-the-world flight on a seaplane.
Oh, congratulations on finding the answer to this mission's Who Flew question, Winged Scouts. Commander Airhead will be proud of you. No pistons about it.
Fantastic work, Winged Scouts! Your mission was a great success. You 2 scouts are impressive beyond words.
Yeah, you know us.
Say, were you able to find the answer to this mission's Who Flew question?
Yes, Commander Airhead, we sure did.
A Cessna 206 holds the record for first round-the-world flight on a seaplane.
In December 1990, pilot Tom Casey set the record for first round-the-world flight in a seaplane with only water landings using a Cessna 206 named Liberty II.
That's great! Good job, Winged Scouts.
What's our next mission, Commander Airhead?
Your next mission is going to be your most incredible yet. We want you to learn about hot air balloons.
Hot air balloons? Wow! How cool!
For all the bumpy flights. Can't wait to get started.
Yay! Winged Scouts ready to fly, Commander Airhead.
Wing Scouts!
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Hooray!
Hey, Gumdrop, this one will be right over your cloud. You're totally full of hot air.
Oh, very funny, wise guy.
Today's mission is to discover all about the most fascinating machine of all.
Flying machines!
Flying machines!
Yes! You will travel all over the world, across time, space, and beyond. You must keep your little metal noses pointed ahead, your motors humming, and your wings perked at all times. We depend on you to do the best job possible. Are you ready for your assignment?
Wow, my little wings are fluttering with thrills.
My little motor is vrooming with excitement.
Plane Scouts ready for our mission, Commander Airhead.
This is sure to be a challenging mission, little ones.
Fluffy white clouds, I love challenging missions.
Brilliant blue skies. Me too.
I'm sending you 2 on a mission to learn about hot air balloons.
Hot air balloons? Oh, how cool.
Can't wait.
It's up to you to learn all about it and report back to me with what you've discovered.
Flying fuselages.
This is going to be a totally fun adventure.
What can you tell us about the hot air balloons, Commander Airhead?
The first dream of flight began with the early use of unmanned hot air balloons in China. During the Three Kingdoms era, from 220 to 280 AD, these unmanned balloons were used as airborne lanterns for military signaling. These lanterns are known as Kongming lanterns.
Wow! I can't wait to find out more!
Hot air balloons sounds absolutely amazing.
As you know, Vroomer and Gumdrop, to deliver what we need here, you must find out and learn tons of amazing facts about hot air balloons, which are also a flying mode of transportation. They're our cousins in the air.
Yes, Commander Airhead.
Balloon cousins? Fun!
Excellent. You must also know there is a question that all the brightest flying minds all over the world's skies have not been able to answer about hot air balloons. We need you two winged scouts to help us answer the who flew question about hot air balloons.
Who flew question? Love it. What is the question, Commander Airhead?
Who completed the first round-the-world flight in a hot air balloon, and in what year?
That's a great question, Commander Airhead.
We'll land the answer in a gust of wind, I'm sure!
I will assign you the best winged scout helper in the world. His name is Willie Widget. He's a robotic encyclopedia of aircraft knowledge. And he will assist you on your mission.
Willie, he's our bot of bots.
Bring out Willie!
Be sure to ask a lot of questions, winged scouts. Willie's big brain downloads are the fastest and best info shots around. Just try him.
Yay! Wing Scouts ready to fly, Commander Airhead!
Winged Scouts. Hooray!
Winged Scouts! Ready to get started on your next adventure?
Yes, super ready.
Totally ready!
Remember, Winged Scouts, any and all questions you have, I'm here to answer them.
Where do we begin?
The history of ballooning, both with hot air and gas, spans many centuries. It has been demonstrated that manned hot air balloons can be built using ancient materials. Before the 18th century, the Mongolian army studied Kongming lanterns from China and used them in the Battle of Legnica during the Mongol invasion of Poland. This is the first time ballooning was known in the Western world.
Right.
To trace the beginning of when man had the first dream of flight, we need to go back all the way to the 17th and 18th centuries. Let's take a tour around the world and visit some of the early fathers of flying.
Yeah!
Here we are, Scouts, France. On September 19th, 1783, in Annonay, Ardèche, France, two brothers, Joseph Michel and Jacques-Étienne Montgolfier, built a hot air balloon and publicly demonstrated an unmanned flight which lasted for about 10 minutes. After experimenting with unmanned balloons, the first balloon flight with humans aboard, a tethered flight, performed in 1783 by Jean-François Pilatre de Rosier, who made at least one tethered flight from the yard of the Réveillon workshop in the Faubourg Saint-Antoine. Later that same day, Pilatre de Rosier became the second human to ascend into the air, reaching an altitude of 85 feet, the length of the tether.
What's an unmanned flight, Willie?
Unmanned flight refers to flying objects of any kind with no human pilot or passenger. That is either uncontrolled or remotely controlled.
Incredible! Hit my plane brain with more balloon factoids, Willie Widget!
In 1785, French balloonist Jean-Pierre Blanchard and his American co-pilot John Jeffries became the first people to fly across the English Channel. In these early days of ballooning, the English Channel was considered the first step to long-distance ballooning, so this was a large benchmark in ballooning history. Unfortunately, this same year, Pilatre de Rosier was killed in his attempt at crossing the channel. His balloon exploded half an hour after takeoff due to the experimental design of using a hydrogen balloon and hot air balloon tied together.
Blasting engines, that's too bad.
The word pilot is derived from Pilatre, named after Pilatre de Rosier, the first person to command an aerial vehicle.
Very interesting.
What else, Willie?
On January 7th, 1793, Jean-Pierre Blanchard set another record and became the first person to fly a hot air balloon in North America. George Washington was present to see the balloon launch.
Whoa! Fun factoid! But how did we get from those really slow baskets to modern hot air balloons with engines?
That's a very good question, Vroomer. Over 100 years later, in August of 1932, a Swiss scientist named Auguste Piccard became the first to achieve a manned flight to the stratosphere. He reached a height of 52,498 feet, setting the new altitude record. Over the next couple of years, altitude records continued to be set and broken every couple of months. The race was on to see who would reach the highest point. This was the turning point in hot air ballooning.
Woohoo!
So who is the father of modern hot air ballooning, Willie Widget?
Ed Yost is credited with developing the modern propane-burning hot air balloon. His development work was conducted under a U.S. military contract. In October 1955, Ed flew his first prototype of a kerosene-powered tethered balloon. This balloon, which was made up of plastic film, had several problems which he worked on until October, when he made his first free flight in a propane-powered hot air balloon from Bruning, Nebraska. This first flight is reported to have lasted for 1 hour and 35 minutes. Ed continued to refine his design, and in 1963 made the first crossing of the English Channel in a hot air balloon.
Whoa, very daring.
Who won the Atlantic Challenge, Willie?
Excellent question, Vroomer. In 1978, the Double Eagle II became the first balloon to cross the Atlantic, another major benchmark in the history of ballooning. After many unsuccessful attempts, the expansive ocean was finally crossed by a helium-filled model carrying 3 passengers, Ben Abruzzo, Maxie Anderson, and Larry Newman. They set a new flight duration time of 137 hours. That's nearly 6 days.
Who won the Pacific Challenge, Willie?
Very good question, Vroomer. I see you are paying attention. The first Pacific crossing was achieved in 1981. The Double Eagle 5 launched from Japan on November 10th and landed 84 hours later in Mendocino National Forest, California. The 4 pilots set a new distance record of 5,678 miles. In 1984, Captain Joe Kittinger flew 3,535 miles on the first solo transatlantic balloon flight, setting yet another record.
Who holds the record for highest solo flight in a hot air balloon?
In 1988, Per Lindstrand set the record for highest solo flight ever recorded in a hot air balloon, 65,000 feet.
Whoa! How does the hot air balloon work?
The basis of how the balloon works is that warmer air rises in cooler air. This is because hot air is lighter than cool air, as it has less mass per unit of volume. Mass can be defined by the measure of how much matter something contains. The actual balloon has to be so large because it takes such a large amount of heated air to lift it off the ground. For example, to lift 1,000 pounds worth of weight, you would need almost 65,000 cubic feet of heated air. To help keep the balloon in the air and rising, hot air needs to be propelled upwards into the envelope using the burner.
Whoa! Tooting turbines! That's incredible!
A hot air balloon is made up of three main parts: the envelope, which is the actual fabric balloon which holds the air; the burner, which is the unit which propels the heat up inside the envelope; and the basket, which is where the passengers and pilot stand during the flight.
Whee!
The burner of a hot air balloon uses propane gas to heat up the air in the envelope, moving the balloon off the ground and into the air. The pilot must keep firing the burner at regular intervals throughout the flight to ensure that the balloon remains stable. Naturally, the hot air will not escape from the hole at the very bottom of the envelope, as firstly, hot air rises, and secondly, the buoyancy keeps it moving up.
Cool skies!
In 1784, Miss Tybal was the first woman to ever fly in a hot air balloon.
Who completed the first round-the-world flight in a hot air balloon? And in what year?
Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones set the world record for the first around-the-world flight in a hot air balloon in 1999. Starting from Switzerland and landing in Africa, they also set new distance records, flying for 19 days, 21 hours, and 55 minutes.
Hey, Gumdrop, I think we just found out the answer to Commander Airhead's Who Flew question.
You're right, Rumor. Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones hold the world record for the first around-the-world flight in a hot air balloon.
Congratulations on finding the answer to this mission's Who Flew question, Winged Scouts. Commander Airhead will be proud of you. No pistons about it.
Fantastic work, Winged Scouts! Your mission was a great success! You've both far exceeded my expectations with these missions. Genius, lads!
Awesome!
Say, were you able to find the answer to this mission's Who Flew question?
Yes, Commander Airhead, we sure did.
Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones hold the world record for the first around-the-world flight in a hot air balloon.
Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones set the world record for the first around-the-world flight in a hot air balloon in 1999, starting from Switzerland and landing in Africa. They also set new distance records, flying for 19 days, 21 hours, and 55 minutes.
That's great! Good job, Winged Scouts!
What's our next mission, Commander Airhead?
Your next mission is going to be your most incredible yet. We want you to learn about helicopters.
Helicopters! Wow, cool!
For all the bumpy flights, can't wait to get started.
Yay! Winged Scouts ready to fly, Commander Airhead!
Winged Scouts.
Vroom, 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 vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom.
Hooray!
I knew a helicopter once. He was kind of flighty.
Flighty, he said.
Oh my goodness.
I was just sitting up in my tree, in my tree, in my tree. I saw a